Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander Scores Studio. Welcome to the show. So, spoilers are out, but not those kind of spoilers because they're reprinted spoilers, but they're still kind of spoilers, I guess, because we didn't know what was going to be in this set exactly. Regardless, Dominaria Remastered spoiler season has come and gone already, and we know what reprints are going to be in the set. So on this episode, I'm going to be talking about what the biggest reprints are. Now, that is kind of subjective, so I'm actually just making it more so what are the most expensive reprints. So I'm going to take you through, what basically, the 10 to 20s, the 20 to 30s, the 30 to 40s, 40 to 50, and then 50 to 100. And also, okay, I'm actually going to be including some of their just, on Mitch's list, some cards that I'm on the lookout for to see if they will drop down in price into my budget territory underneath $1. So yeah, this is, on this episode, I'm just going to be showing off the actual current cost of the card that obviously does not take into account the reprint in mind in Dominaria Remastered. So yeah, hopefully these prices drop quite a bit. Let's start things off with the $10 to $20 range. Starting off with Birds of Paradise, a mana dork that sees a lot of play in a lot of formats, including Commander. Next up, Overmaster at $11.47 currently. This card is one that actually came up when I was searching for cards for one of my Cody decks, and I forgot to turn on, my card, cost preferences, unfortunately. But yeah, with this reprint, I highly doubt it's going to get underneath $1, but you never know. I think this is actually the only printing of it back in Torment. Yeah, I believe so. Just that in the foil version. Basically, you make your next instant sorcery spell uncounterable, and it's a cantrip. Nice. Maze of Ith, a card that sees a ton of play in Commander, can fit in any Commander deck, obviously. Basically just, takes a creature out of combat, essentially. So this can be a great way to, defend yourself against a big creature. It can actually just be a good deterrent for opponents not to attack you. Currently $11, definitely going to drop in price with this reprint. Sapling Symbiosis. This is another card that I don't believe has a reprint yet. Yeah, just the foil version. And one that used to be a lot cheaper, in fact, near budget territory, and started spiking in price with, all those commanders that care about, tokens and doubling tokens and all those things. So, yeah, basically, hey, get a 1/1 sapling for each creature you control. You can also flash it for 2 extra. So, yeah, flash it in for just 2 more mana, scare your opponents essentially out of nowhere with your, massive army of saplings. Yeah, $12, definitely going to go down in price. I don't know if that would go down to, budget territory. We shall see. Crawl Space, $12.61 right now. A great defensive card. No more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. Yeah, just a solid reprint. Again, if you've got kind of like a turtle strategy kind of deck, if you've got a deck that just wants to kind of sit back and let your opponents do all your dirty work for you, great. Just utilize a card like this. Next up, Chainer Dementia Master, a commander as well as, a good card in 99. Basically, utilize your, resources, utilize your life to get creatures from graveyards into play under your control as nightmares. Whenever Chaina leaves, all the nightmares go away too. Yeah, $13 currently, I believe. And again, I'm just going to keep saying this and then just probably be wrong one of these. Yep, this is the only printing of this card. So yeah, this is going to probably drastically drop that price. So if you're looking to build a Chainer deck, great. If you're looking to include it in a deck, great. Gamble, a great tutor in red, a very funny tutor. Basically, go get any card in your library, get in your hand for 1 mana at sorcery speed, then you shuffle your hand and, you lose a card at random, essentially. You don't have to shuffle your hand, I guess. There's other ways to do it, but yeah, usually shuffle your hand, pick a card at random, and it's gone. So you might just lose the card that you actually went and got. Yeah, $13. This one has seen some reprints, so yeah, it might not drop as much as some of the other ones. Still a good, solid reprint. Hunting Grounds. Now, hopefully I'm not wrong on this one. Only reprint? Yep, only reprint. So, another card from back in, what is that, Judgment. Yeah, back around when I started playing. Yeah, Threshold, whenever an opponent plays a spell, you put a creature card from your hand to play. Just basically, yeah, if you've got 7 cards in your graveyard or more, every single time your opponents play spells, especially in a format like Commander where there's going to be a lot of times your opponents are, playing spells, you get a lot of creatures out into play for free, and doesn't matter how massive those creatures are. So yeah, again, with that reprint, could drop the price drastically. Sneak Attack, an incredibly powerful card, especially in a format like Commander where you can just sneak out some massive things. Pay a red, get a creature card from your hand in the battlefield, gain saves, sack at the end step. Yeah, basically just, cheat out a creature for 1 mana. This can be a game-ending card, or at least a card that can get you way ahead of your opponents and set yourselves up for something really big. $16 right now. Let's see where it drops. Dark Depths. Hey, Merit Lage is back. Basically, you get 10 ice counters on it. You can pay 3 to remove ice counters. Once those are gone, you sacrifice this and you get Merit Lage, a 2020 flying indestructible creature token. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like about this card, except for, obviously it pairs very well with Thespian Stage. So utilizing that instead of actually paying the cost for this usually is what you're going to be doing. Yeah, there's certain decks out there that, are kind of built around this. So sure they're happy to see this reprint. If you've been looking to build one of those decks, there you go. It's probably going to be a good amount cheaper than what it currently is. Mystical Tutor, $18 currently. Basically, go get any instant sorcery, put it on top of your library, 1 mana. Yeah, it's a very powerful tutor, and you're going to see some of the other tutors like this here in a bit. But yeah, this apparently is one of the less expensive ones. I mean, still $18 as well in my budget range, but yeah, compared to the other ones, we shall see. Arborea, a very, very strange card. This one's where I probably should have actually just kept up, the newer version, because there has been a reprint of it. Let's just get that so I can read it real quick. But yeah, $18 for that. Let's just read that real quick. Oh, and then it jumps price, of course. Oh, no, it is gone. Uh-oh, here we go. Okay, Arborea. Creatures can't attack a player unless that player casts a spell or put a non-token permanent on the battlefield during their last turn. So, yeah, I mean, another kind of deterrent kind of card. Again, worded in a very weird way, which is why I switched over the versions. But, yeah, again, currently, I believe, let's go back to the other version, the cheapest one. I believe, again, $18 or so. Not a lot of reprints to it, so it should drop a decent amount. Test of Endurance, a very funny alternative win condition. Well, I mean, in other formats, it's much more difficult to actually get to. You start off at 20 life in a lot of formats, so gaining 30 life is quite a bit. But again, in Commander, starting off at 40, yeah, gaining 10 life, not a big deal. Basically, the only problem you need to, solve is essentially just keeping this in play for 1 turn. If you can do that, and you have already gained 10 life, and you can keep your life total around that, you're going to be able to win. Next up, though, let's jump to the 20 to 30 range, and there's only 4 cards in this range, starting off with Last Chance. Basically, take an extra turn for this one for 2 mana, but there's a small downside. Beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game, which is not good, obviously, for you. So, yeah, there are certain decks that, are willing to just kind of go all in like that, but there are also other ways that you can kind of work around that, like Obeka, essentially utilizing, end turn effects so you can just, stop yourself from losing the game. So, yeah, there's that. $20 currently. I believe this Secret Lair is actually, ironically, the least expensive version of it at $20. It's a $50 card otherwise, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, with this printing, it should drop down quite a bit. Exploration, incredibly powerful card. If you never played against this, good luck if you play against it and they get down turn 1. Enchantment, play additional land each of your turns. That person who plays it is going to be way ahead of their opponents. $21. Yeah, this is a very powerful card, especially in landfall decks. So, yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of decks out there that are very excited to see it. Speaking of a card that many players are going to be very excited to see, for those of you that like extra turn spells and giant, extra turn spells are just giant spells. Time Stretch, yeah, 10 mana, 2 extra turns, $23. We'll see how much that goes down in price. Actually, I didn't realize this was originally from Odyssey. Interesting. Anyways, Worldly Tutor, $26. Another one of those tutors like Mystical that just goes and gets something for instant speed, 1 mana, gets a card on top of your library. In this case, it's a creature card. So, yeah, very good card. A lot of decks out there revolve around certain creatures. So, yeah, we'll see where the price drops on this one. A different kind of tutor with Entomb. Search library for a card, put in your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Yeah, I mean, there's certain decks out there that revolve around getting a certain card into their graveyard. There are certain, commanders out there that like having certain cards in their graveyard. There are certain combos that involve having cards in your graveyard. A $30 card, and I probably should have mentioned, yes, there are 3 cards from $30 to $40 apparently in these reprints. So, yeah, Entomb, a great one. Yawgmoth, Thran Physician, a very, 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 very powerful card, a very powerful commander. Yawgmoth, can do some pretty disgusting things, especially in aristocrat-style strategies. A $37 card. So if you've been waiting to build a Yawgmoth deck, might be a good idea to pick up Yawgmoth, after this new set comes out. No Mercy. No Mercy is a card that I don't believe has really seen an actual real reprint. Let's see real quick. Yeah, just Invocation and a Judge gift card. So yeah, very expensive versions of it. Still expensive just on its own. $40, or I should say $39, because it's not quite to the $40 mark. But yeah, with this reprint, it should drop that price quite a bit, because yeah, this is a decently old card from back in the Urza block, I believe. A good turtle card, essentially. Creatures deal damage to you, they're destroyed. Yeah, your opponent's probably not going to attack you very often with something like that. $40 to $50, let's move on. Another tutor, another 1 mana tutor, Enlightened Tutor. Basically the exact same thing as the other ones, except you're getting an artifact or enchantment. Yeah, there are decks that definitely revolve around artifacts and enchantments. So yeah, very powerful tutor. $40 currently. We'll see where that price drops to. Vampiric Tutor, the most powerful out of all these tutors and the most expensive. Basically, go get any card from your library, put it on top of your library for just 1 mana, instant speed. You lose 2 life. Yeah, that's a small price to pay for that effect. $41. Speaking of not a small price to pay, we'll see where that price ends up, though. Sylvan Library, a great card, especially in a format like Commander. If you get it down early enough, at the beginning of your draw step, basically you get 2 extra cards. If you do, you choose 2 cards in your hand. You draw on this turn, you can put them on top of your library, or for each one of them, you want to keep, basically you pay for life. So yeah, basically card selection at the very least, or card advantage with life loss. Yeah, very powerful. $42 currently. We'll see where that price goes down to. This one has seen more reprints in more recent days, but we'll see. Urza's Incubator. My goodness, I didn't realize this one was $48. Yeah, this one is $48 for a reason. Tribal decks are very big in Commander. This one is a huge card for tribal decks. Enters battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature spells, chosen type, cost 2 less to cast. There are very few tribal decks out there that could say that they really wouldn't want Urza's Incubator. If it was, again, a budget card, let's just say that, because cost reduction is very powerful, and cost reduction for basically all your creatures is huge. We'll see where the price goes down for this one. And actually, when it comes to the printings, this one, I guess, has seen a reprinting in 2015 and Anthology. Other than that, though, just Urza's Destiny. So, yeah, even with 2 reprintings, technically, still a very expensive card. Next up, Urza Lord High Artificer. A $50 card, a commander that made it into this $50 to $100 range. A very expensive commander, a very powerful commander. Some might say overpowered. Basically, all your artifacts turn into mana rocks that can tap for blue. Makes a construct. Cool. You can play things off the top of your library for free, essentially. Yeah, Urza is very powerful. Very powerful, just an artifact dex on its own. And, of course, a very powerful commander as well. And then finally, we have the probably chase card of the set, Force of Will. $91 currently for the lowest costed version of Force of Will. Basically a free counter spell. Pay a life, exile a blue card from your hand, counter target spell. A very powerful card in many formats, and a card that definitely does see play in the higher tiers of Commander. A more powerful, more competitive Commander, it is definitely going to be seeing play. So yeah, we'll see where this price goes down to. I just have a quick list of cards that are kind of either near $1 or I'm hoping go underneath $1. Sulfuric Vortex, a great card for group slug decks. It's at $1 right now, so I'd have to imagine this one goes back underneath $1. I was very surprised when I built my last group slug deck that it was not under $1, and then yeah, now it is, hopefully. Frantic Search, another card that's just over $1, and hopefully this reprint goes underneath. Draw 2, discard 2, so basically loot 2, untap 3 lands. It's a free looting effect, essentially. Very good in a lot of decks. Cloud of Fairies, just an interesting card. Enters battlefield, untap 2 lands, kind of like a mini Peregrine Drake, essentially, with cycling as well. This one definitely used to be more budget friendly. $1.59, not terrible, obviously, but just over my price. So we'll see if that one drops down. Nature's Lore, a card that has been nowhere near underneath $1 for a long, long time. Go get a forest, get into play, untapped, then shuffle. We'll see if this reprinting finally takes it down underneath $1 for another great ramp spell. Mesa Enchantress, an Enchantress that definitely used to be budget friendly, or underneath $1, I should say. $1.78 right now. A lot of commanders have come out recently that are good with enchantments. So yeah, the Enchantresses have gone up and up and up in price. We'll see if this drops it back down underneath $1. Crop Rotation, really good card for landfall decks, or just decks that revolve around a specific land. Sack a land, go get any land, come and put it on the battlefield. So yeah, a very good card in those kinds of decks. $2 currently. We'll see where this one drops to. Humble Awakening, a very old card that I don't think this one's ever seen a reprint. I could be wrong. I guess Visions and Mystery Booster apparently had it, so not a technical reprint. Anyways, basically all your spells cost, or everyone's spells, sorry, cost 1 less to cast. This is a very good card, especially in artifact decks. Yes, you're reducing the cost of your opponent's spells as well, but yeah, if you have an artifact-centric deck, you're going to have more value out of this, essentially. Being able to cast a lot of things for free or at a reduced cost. Currently $3, but again, it really hasn't seen an actual reprint, so we'll see if this drops it down to even my budget territory. So yeah, that was the list. That was the list of cards again that were for, from 10 to 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50 to 100. We'll see where those cards end up. And also we'll see if the cards on my list end up underneath $1. So yeah, some pretty exciting reprints in this. Comment below on what your thoughts are. What are your what reprints are you most excited about? So yeah, let me know in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.